Hello YouTube, Edith from the bedroom here, you guitar junkie. Yes, you're not seeing double. This is a newer version of said guitar. Let me play something, make some noise everyone can complain about, and then I'll speak about it and tell you why I'm making another video. I didn't warm up. Yeah, didn't get a chance to warm up. Wish I did. Fingers are stiff today. So, what I had done, I get to that later, if I remember. I'm sure I would. But then again, you don't know. The guitar at hand. Yes, I had to delete the first video. You're not seeing double. Because I had a charming person leave a really nice comment, and it said, "You suck." And I played the video back because I normally do on my TV set, sometimes with headphones at my computer. I don't know why I didn't, and it was terrible. And I've mentioned that before. You know, I was like, whoa, he's right. It's going. So deleted that puppy. Had to come in and make another one. I even forgot to put my YouTube shirt on. So the guitar at hand. Let's just get to it. All right. First of all, look at that. Would you look at that? Just look at that. Wow. Yes. This is a beautiful quilted maple top. Not a veneer. I looked it up after the first video. It's a top. You've got two humbucking Wolfgang pickups that are twice as hotter, twice as brighter as the other Eddie Van Halen guitar that I had with the black Popular Burl. And that one, the toggle switch was up here and the dead switch was down here. No dead switch on here. I don't need it anyway. When I see it, I go to use it, but it really takes away from the flavor of whatever I'm doing, I think. And when I do, you know, hammer-ons and stuff like that, and pull-offs, I like the toggle switch down here, like my N4s, because when it's up here, you're hitting it, you know, like the Les Pauls. So I like it down here. I don't like it over here. I think this is a good place for it. It's easy to get to. I had not moved it on that sweep yet. It's still just up and down. I have, it is a shore maple neck. Look at that. The locking nut goes right through the neck like the other one did. You have your banana hockey stick headstock. EVH tuners, matching headstock, by the way. Speed knob on here, which you could see I don't care for. And then a friction knob here, which I wish was on the volume, because I don't like hitting it and lowering the volume as I'm playing. 22 jumbo frets on an ebony fingerboard, my favorite. Clay dot inlays. It looks like plastic inlays on the side. They don't look like they're illuminating inlays. So a nice thin, talking a nice shredding neck on here, maple neck. Strap body, it's a basswood body. You have your EVH Floyd Rose with a drop D. I did have to look up on the video, you pull this out in order for it to activate. I don't use it, I never will. And what else? The jack is on the bottom there. On my first video, I did have the covers off. I'm sorry to say I didn't remove them because I'm just thinking about it now. This, everything here is painted except for the inside cavity. It's got two springs. I believe they were on an angle. And that is it. The Floyd Rose that's in here was a very thin, what do you want to call that? The plate, the, I know I'll think of it after I make the video. But the Floyd Rose itself was very thin. It wasn't a thick piece. The block, whatever you want to call it. You've got your made in Mexico, licensed by Fender, Eddie Van Halen on the back plate. The electronics, the cover is shielded and the cavity is shielded. They have two 500K pots that are very nicely soldered, and the wire harness is wrapped up perfectly. They are plastic. These things, when they were selling, I believe they came out in 2019. It was this one and then some kind of like sunburst. And they were selling for $13.49. Yeah, dollars, not pesos. I got this at a fantastic bargain. I called up my gear advisor, Justin Ford, at $3,999. Call him up and tell him, or when you call up the 1-800 number, ask for extension 3999, Justin Ford. Tell him Beanie from the bedroom sent you, and he will hook you up. I can't even begin to tell you how much this guy is a great gear advisor and will help you out. So the frets feel a little sharp. I'm not gonna lie, they're a little sharp going up and down on both sides. My complaint, for that price, what these were selling for brand new, why don't they have stainless steel frets? Right? Really, probably that's the only thing I could think of, other than why don't they put a 1500 series with a push-in on. This is the screw-on coupling on here for the Floyd. Nothing else really I can complain about. You've got your truss rod spindle adjustment down here, which is great. The Wolfgang humbucking pickups screwed right into the body. They have two screws on each side so you can adjust the height and the angle, which is good. Like I said, these are super bright, super hot, better than the other pair that I had in the black one. Leaving anything out? No, Eddie Van Halen tune is up here. That's about it. So This came from California, and again, I'm sorry if you watched the first one, you're going to hear the same thing. It had no dust on it, but it had greasy fingerprints all over it. And you know when you've got something like on a car, a stain, a spot, you need WD-40 to get it off, and then you got to wax it. That's what I had to go through with this. I had to clean this thing 2-3 times just to get the greasy fingerprints. I mean, I could actually put a piece of tape over the fingerprints and then, you know, run the prints to find out if this guy is ever in the system. That's how bad it was. It had so much greasy fingerprints all over it, front and back, that now I've been playing it because I've had it, I think, for, I don't know, a week or so. So I've been playing it every day along with my other ones. So I've got my 4 favorites that I go to all the time. And this has now become one of them. So when I got it, really, all I had to do was, the nut was loose. I had to tune it, lock the nut, check the tuning again. And the action was so low, I had to raise up the bridge just ever so slightly, and I had to put a bit of a curvature, set the neck a little bit, because it was flat as can be. You could play it literally with one hand just by finger tapping and doing pull-offs. And I don't like that. Like I said, when I bend the string now, my finger is bending the string and pushing the other strings out of the way. It was so low that my fingers would roll. I'm bending this string and my finger would roll over it. And that's why I don't like it that low. I don't like it too high where it's almost impossible to play, but when you play it, then the string is going, you know, like under your fingernail. So really, that's the only thing I had to do to it. So the other down part to this is it's a one-way ticket, one-trick pony. You can only do dive bombs. It's not a floater. You can't pull it up. The other one, I was able to set it where I could pull it up just a little bit. This one, no way, Jose. It's not going to happen. So I believe this is still the original strings on the guitar, because I think whoever bought it, again, for whatever reason, barely played it. And it wasn't in the store. I noticed when it first came out in the store, I was keeping an eye on it. I was just waiting to move other stuff. And once I did, you know, I pulled the trigger on it. I think all the greasy fingerprints were the people that went into the store to play it, or the people that worked there picking it up and playing it, whatever, you know. So yeah, that's about it. It came from California. Again, biggest beef with Guitar Center, because it's another Guitar Center purchase, is tune the guitar and wipe it down and then ship it. It's easy peasy Japanesey. That's all you have to do. I mean, to pull a guitar out that you're excited about, even though it's used, and then see, you know, that it's so full of grease and fingerprints and dirt and dust. This one had no dust on it. It's just disappointing. So the fact that I didn't have to spend a lot of time setting it up and tweaking it and working on it the way I like to play it. The fact that I really just spent 5 minutes on that, but really spent more time just trying to get the fingerprints literally off the guitar, because it was, every time I tried to wipe it with Lemon Pledge, because I only used that once just to clean up a guitar, and then I never use it again. After that, you could just wipe it with a dry, soft cloth and wipe it down. I don't like putting wax or stuff on the finish, but when it's greasy as all heck, I have to. If I get a guitar, first thing I do is I try to wipe it down dry, and if it wipes off, then good, I'm happy. But when I have to use, you know, Lemon Pledge or WD-40 to clean it up, I mean, it's disappointing. These here are still stiff, so I think these need to be oiled. And again, I don't think, you know, this person really played it. They may have bought the guitar and then, for whatever reason, said this isn't for me. You know, you do have those guys that, you know, the first time Floyd Rose purchases, they get it home and they're like, you know, this isn't for me. And if they've never had one before and they plan on changing the strings, they're in for a big surprise. So the other day, and I don't know if I posted the video or not, or if it's in the can, but I was going through different pedals on my pedal board, and I'll tell you why. So this is clean, right? Now, my go-to is my Demon FX Andy Timmons clone, and it's got a boost, that's a dirty boost, and then it's got the drive, and the drive has a 3-way toggle switch, so you can go from 25 to 50 to 100 watts. 25 watts, you get a real heavy, like thick distortion out of it. 50 watts is just a sweet spot for me. 100 is, you know, I like it in between, in the middle. So I keep the toggle in the middle. This is with the dirty boost. Yeah, it's sweet. This is now with the overdrive. All right, now that's set where the bass and the tone are set where they're a little boxy. They're not that bright, not that gritty, just a little boxy, because when it's stacked with the drive on my amp, which is only either it's between 2 or 3 or it's at 3, never goes past 3, and I'll show you that in a minute. It's set for that, so it gives me that kind of, not a whole lot of grit, but just enough drive and punch. Then, you know, I like to have a different overdrive kind of pedal. So if I want a little bit different, see, this is a little bit brighter and a little bit grittier. All right, I wasn't paying attention. I was just reading, making sure that the settings are right, because I was putting pedals on, taking them off, the whole bit. And in the other video, I think I showed all the pedals I was going through. So the one that I determined was great is the Deluxe effects pedal. That's the box. And I'll see if I could show the pedal. It's vintage distortion. It's supposed to be a clone of the Rat pedal. It's got 3 settings on it. It's got solo R, it's got turbo R, and then it's got normal R. So just to show you, that's solo, that's turbo, that's normal. The turbo again is it's a little bit brighter. I like it in the middle. And again, I should show you on the Andy Timmons, that's the middle. That's 25. No, sorry, that's 25. That's 50. And that's 100. So I like it in the middle because, well, maybe it's 25, 50, and 100. I don't really know, but I keep it in the middle. Sorry about that. Now, the kicker is they have to be compatible. When I put the overdrive on, which you could hear it, it's off. Now it's on. That's only between 2 and 3 or at 3. I don't want to get up and turn around and have my back to the camera. But I guarantee it's not going past 3 on the gain. Now, when I stack it with, for instance, humbucking pickups, and most of my guitars are open face humbucking pickups with no chrome or gold plated cover on them. I like using a dirty boost because without it, with it, gives it a little bit more bite, a little bit more punch. Now, I use the overdrive on the Andy Timmons. It's a little bit softer. Not that much grit. It's perfect for the Washburn N4s that have the Bill Lawrence 500 pickups. They're so hot, it kind of, you know, calms them down a little bit. Now the kicker is that when you turn either one on the Andy Timmons Demon FX, on, off, that's the boost. On, off, that's the drive. You don't hear anything. Now, the other pedals I had, once you put them on, they hum, they buzz, they hiss. This is the other one. See, now it's on. Yeah, it just gives you enough of that punch and separates the tone. Makes it a little bit grittier, a little bit more punch, more snot with you know, a drive to it, and it's quiet. And again, because it's a copy of a Rat, I have the filter all the way up, and I've only learned that from Nuno Betancourt. The distortion is, well, it's just almost off, is where it is, just so that it gives it some sound. And the volume is at 12 o'clock. So yeah, that's it. And if I switch to toggles, I don't like the tone. I like the tone just the way it is. So with the overdrive on the amp, with the pedal just by itself. So, you see? So I've got a 2-channel amp, but it gives me like 3 extra channels on the floor that I could play either with on the clean or stack it with the amp. And that's another thing. When I look up these pedals, because I got another one. I got this one here. Just came in today, this Caroline, this one here. And it's got like 2 different buttons on it. It's got a boost. The boost only works when it's engaged with the overdrive, which sucks. Volume, tone, drive, and boost, and then you've got different clippings. You've got a comp cut, FM, vintage, and then you have on the other side Mossville and standard. The fact that the boost doesn't work independent on the pedal, but only activates when it's stacked with the drive, was disappointing. Unlike the Demon FX, where independently, you know, they work great separate, and together so yeah. And you know, again, that's why my buddies that are professional musicians call me up and you know, like, you're the tone wizard, you know, what do you think of this, and what do you, and the whole bit. And that's what I do. Now, right now, I'm loving the sound I have. I guarantee in a couple of weeks' time, I might be going through this again. All I know for a fact is the Demon FX, Andy Timmons clone, will always be on this pedal. And that's why I bought a second one, just in case something, which nothing ever happens to these pedals, but in case something ever does, I have a backup. The other one is, if I could just try to show you the board. Now, I don't know if the board is, if you're catching that or not on the board, but it's that guy upside down, the brown one. So, yeah, sorry for that. But I don't want to put a picture of that as a thumbnail. I want to put a picture of this as a thumbnail. And if I don't have a picture of this as a thumbnail, here, let me just post one right now. Go like this. Yeah. Click. And that's that. So apologize, it went a little bit longer by almost 4 minutes than the last one, but I did have to do it over again. And maybe I'll listen to this one and hope that I didn't make any mistakes that are too terrible. And that's that. So thanks for watching. Have a good day and a better tomorrow. Yep, all the time with this thing, all the time. Adios amigos, spice, good deals, muchachos,